down there if nobody's watching them.
A little while ago, I was talking to you about the vegetation of Glacier Bay. And as you noticed,
I don't know if going through this tinted glass will do it justice, but
I'm gonna run toward the back here a little bit, catch it some more.
Yes.
God, it's how jagged that stuff is.
yeah. These stuff fall off.
Maybe get lucky and watch that calf.
Like soldiers marching in the water and look up.
Gosh. Look at
Marching
that.
into the sea.
Ain't that awesome? I don't know if the colors will show up through this tinted glass, but I'll run back a little bit after we get kind of past it a little. And this was what?
Lamb flug.
God, this is all them spires sticking out of there. It almost looks like the needles. Only in ice.
salt water. And just like we salt our driveways in the winter to get rid of the snow, that's pretty much how the salt water works to erode the ice. So little by little we're losing this glacier, but it's a lovely one, and it's just as blue. I would say it's not quite.
There, I'm not shooting through the glass anymore, so hopefully the blues will show up really well. The color's just gorgeous.
Do you go above the glass? Do you go above the glass? Are you high enough to pass?
I gotta wait a little bit.
But if we go not too
Those little white spots don't look like they're not smudges on the lens. Those are little puffy clouds.
That deal that's on the front of the ship, under the water there.
Oh, better than.
Just leave it the way it is. Don't fiddle with it. Just leave it the way it is.
Just awesome, all that little pieces of ice up in there. Little pieces there, probably all 15, 20 feet or better.
Had a great pair of binoculars, and she actually saw some calving all the way from where we're at right now, which is roughly 5 to 6 miles away from the face of the glacier. So,
We're
if you
5
have
to
to
6
take
miles
one,
away.
keep your eyes peeled because you just might see some calving. And also, keep your eyes out for seals. They haul themselves out on the ice. They're swimming around us as we speak. As if I spot anything, I'll let you know.
Just shut it partially.
No,
Shut your right partially.
I can just now.
Sometimes that happens.
As we continue on our way to Marjorie, I want to bring up an interesting point, an important, beautiful point, and that's that Glacier Bay is a place where humans are not the main attraction. It's a place where moose and bears run wild, and whales inhabit the water, and porpoise. Everything aside from humans here run this place. It's their land. It's a gift from them to us, and that's why we have to protect it. This could very well be the wildest place you and I have ever been. At least for me, I've never been to a more natural setting in my life. And some people wait their entire lives to take a cruise like this. Glacier Bay sees about 300,000 visitors a year, only 20,000 of which actually step foot on land. So the majority of the visitors see it from a vessel just like this, which makes it even wilder because there aren't very many human footprints on the land. The land is tattered with bear prints and moose prints and wolves and mountain goats.
Right there, straight up.
Of the seal thing.
Yep.
Don't interrupt them messing around.
Yeah.
Don't want to interrupt them messing around.
Yeah.
Just a few little trees up there. That's about the first ones I've seen around here.
Yeah. They're growing.
They might make it.
Give them a chance.
They've got 200 years to get going. Yep, there's a couple right there. Right alongside the stream. If there is a stream in that.
Nope.
Nope. What a little iceberg, he got stuck. Run into a rock.
Watch out, Birdie.
Jump! Jump! Quick!
Go, go. Take off, take off.
Come on, get going.
Get going.
You can do it.
Take off.
It's a goofy goony bird, I think.
Is it one of those puffins? What they call puffins?
No.
He's really working hard.
Black and white, whatever it is.
It goes all the way down to, they got a lot of water washes down.
So when you were down there, did you
dirt.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Turn to the left, huh?
How did you find that place? That's good. How about you? Yeah, you just like a little deer.
And this was which glacier, Marcia?
Marjorie.
Marjorie?
Directly in front of us, if you notice that black strip right in front of the boat, that is Grand Pacific Glacier. And a lot of you are wondering why it looks so dark. That's because there's a lot of dirt and sediment and rock mixed in with the ice. Grand Pacific Glacier is the main glacier. It's the one that's credited with filling the entire bay. And at one point, it extended all the way into Icy Strait. There's a theory as to why it retreated so quickly, and that's because when the face of it was in Icy Strait, the currents were so strong that it washed away its terminal moraine. And terminal moraine is just sort of a strip of rock and dirt that it's right at the shore. When we get closer, you'll be able to get a better look at it. And so when a glacier moves forward, it pushes a lot of rock and dirt in front of it, and it helps to protect the base of it. Sort of like when a bulldozer pushes anything forward, it sort of creates a strip of dirt, and that's what keeps the salt water from eroding it. Grand Pacific is about two miles in the United States. It extends 35 miles back, but only 2 miles are left in the U.S. Everything else is in Canadian territory. And at one point, I believe it was 1925, it actually retreated back into Canadian territory, and it was one of the only Canadian glaciers or coastal glaciers. But now it's advancing, or it was advancing, and so now again it's in U.S. territory.
So
And if you look to the left, Marjorie Glacier, that big bright blue one, is starting to become more visible. And that one is not nearly as dirty as Grand Pacific because the tributary that feeds the Grand Pacific has a lot of really unstable slopes where numerous landslides occur, and it sort of dumps a lot of dirt onto it. Marjorie, on the other hand, comes from a valley that's not nearly as unstable, and so it doesn't have as much dirt flowing on top of it, and it has that bright blue color that most people associate glaciers with. In the cruise nest, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to open it later because of our timing. Our timing is a little bit off today, so you might want to run up there and take advantage of the next few minutes, because once we get to Marjorie, we might be closing it, and I can't guarantee that we're going to open it again. So if you want to get any literature, you might as well do it right now.
Just a bunch of dirt. Looks like a dirt landslide with snow and dirt on top of it.
Is that a dirt mall over there, or what's this over here on this side, honey? Oh, there goes a big bird. Right down here.
Ice.
So I have taped some.
Good.
Probably just full of birds.
Boy, there's a bunch of them on it. Another one just coming for landing.
Well, why not go for a free ride? Hello.
Yes.
Did you get him? Little iceberg.
Here's where it's taking a free ride.
Don't necessarily recognize that word, and the best way, the way that I was explained is that when a cow gives birth, it gives birth to a calf. And mountains give birth to glaciers, and glaciers give birth to icebergs. So when a piece comes crumbling off, we call that calving. It's an easy way to remember it. And it's definitely what we're going to see most. Marjorie is the most active glacier we have in this park.
Sea lion.
It's about 250 feet high from the surface of the water up, and it extends about 100 feet below.
There's a sea
Right
lion
there. See him
out
right
there.
there? Right out front of the
The
glacier.
mountain's about 21 miles.
Yep.
It's a pretty long way, but we're losing it little by little every day. Roughly 5 feet a day, not the entire glacier back, but everything sort of combined.
He's gonna
Last
jump
week I was
off,
here and I saw an
probably.
entire face come down from the top to the bottom. It was a spectacle, so I'm hoping we get to see something like that today. And even though it's sad that we're...
Oh, listen to it. It sounds like thunder.
Take a few pictures. Oh, kind of watch it now. Watch it. Some little stuff falling. See it? See that little stuff falling? Right on. There's a crack in it, right? There's a big crack in there. Stuff falling out of that every so often.
Yeah, that crack looks like it's.
Like that could be a spot.
Yeah, maybe next week.
You never know when.
Hour from now.
That's where it fell. Well, it fell off to the right, to the left.
To the left.
Fell
of
to
it.
the left of that.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing some small stuff fall out of there. And then there's a bunch of loose stuff kind of right up toward the top of that
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah. There it comes.
Oh,
There
there
it
it
comes.
goes. That's hanging
Yeah.
over there.
Keep. That was awesome.
I didn't expect that whole piece to
I didn't expect it over there at all.
I know. We were looking over here.
You know, it's doing
It's
it.
a strange configuration over here that I'm
Can't tell.
You can't. Maybe the next one. No, watching
Look,
the
see how,
moon.
look how that is laying
I know
in
it.
there.
It's so loose up in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like that whole piece might come off.
Yeah. Marcia,
A little bit is coming.
Yeah. Well, even
Stay
that
on it.
little bit makes a lot of noise.
that's right in that crack. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a bunch of that
looks
fall
like it
here.
It's like it's cutting that out.
Yes.
Cutting that piece out.
That whole section there must be
See,
the
all
most
behind it is all.
unstable. Yeah, it's most unstable there. The jagged piece on the top.
Well, you know, it's all unstable.
Oh, I know, but
The birds back again.
Yeah.
well,
They've been sitting down on the ice that's fallen and everything. They're
oh,
pushing.
here's a little piece. That's small. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, it keeps going from underneath.
Yeah,
Pretty soon the
that's what-
top's got to go.
Yeah, that's what's undercutting it. There's a little more.
More
coming
falling.
in,
A
yeah.
little more, a little more.
And it gets to a point where this piece right over here looks
Oh,
like
that,
yeah,
would,
it
that
does.
would be fantastic in that image. Right here. It must be 40 elsewhere, but you can't see them on the other side. Yeah, you can
See,
hear
you
it.
can see there's ice.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear it.
There's a few little pieces falling out of it yet.
Are you ready to see when it goes? She's going to get
She's
it.
all set. Did you catch any of them? You did? Good.
Yeah,
Not the very start of it, but most of it.
yeah, because you got to spend a lot of film to get it.
But I'm kind of getting turned in now a little
You
bit.
just got to stay with them.
Yeah, but the ship is turning and you're going to have one of those
I'm going to have the bar in the way
bars in
here.
the way, unfortunately. And then it might fall over here for that matter.
Susan,
You're welcome. Up there's a little piece down there. Still always in that area.
yeah, that thing looks like
Yeah, see,
that
well,
big piece is going to go.
Yeah,
There's more.
Oh,
here it comes. Yeah, that, from this angle especially. Looks like it would go.
Getting warm, Marcia?
It's the wind's cold. That's why they come That's not a rock. That's a piece of that dirty glacier rock.
this thing
Right in front.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no, what
yeah.
about there?
No, I'm not sure. I see a lot of blue on the side. See all the blue? This way. See the blue in between?
There's pieces falling off of it now.
Yep. Oh.
I hear some.
Oh, I got
that's
that.
starting to go.
Yeah,
That
it's
thing
from
is going to
behind.
go.
That's the active spot.
The idea of size. And you're
See, this is an glacier. You do that.
it was connected to this.
Yeah. Well, it is.
A little bit.
This is part
Over here?
Yeah, just every once in a while some little stuff will fall, but not a great bite yet. More small piece.
That little piece makes that much noise.
Yes, you know how far that little piece is falling?
Exactly.
And how big that little bald eagle's, two of them.
Where?
Here, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Get your glasses, you're gonna
I
get
see him. I see him.
Stay here.
That piece is just kind of sitting there pushing on that a little bit, and it's just one of these times.
No.
Oh, that was just a little piece.
Now
My
some little stuff
gosh.
come falling.
I saw the first.
That's all stuff that fell from an earlier slide.
I think I've never seen
for her calf. That area's been real active right there. Waiting for the rest of that to fall. There's a big chunk pushing real hard on it. Big cave back in there. Prettiest blue.
I talked to a couple people.
And that is no joke.
Okay, let's one more. One more.
Exactly.
Really. It's about. That's not the piece that fell earlier. It looks like that other one down there is the one that fell earlier that we saw.
Yeah, right down there is where it fell earlier.
The big one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's sliding. But look how it looks. Oh. That was over there.
Yep. Small one come out from underneath.
That must be up from the dirty one. It's hard to see the dirty one. Oh, there's some coming down right there. See it? Right there, in that center. You see it? That brown area was kind of little caves like that. Oh, there's some more coming down there. Over there too. They're next to the other one.
There it goes. Yep, see the piece? And there goes the piece. See that? Maybe. Well, she's got a better movie camera. Is she getting it? Peekaboo.
Wine, madam.
Okay. Just imagine what a big piece sounds like. That was a pretty good sized piece. Huh? That was a pretty good
Yeah,
size.
That's what I thought I'd
no,
do.
they should have like a whole big piece side going off because it's nice weather. Oh, there it goes.
You want to go look for, what's her name? Oh.
One of these big ones.
There was some more.
Bunch of little stuff from way up on top. Right there where that stuff fell out. Boy, that's pretty blue now. There was some fell. Cool.
Where?
See it way up there where it starts?
I see way up above there.
Okay, now 1, 2. Okay. Hold it.
Bird.
This iceberg here.
Oh, boat scaring them off. Holy buckets, there was a bunch of them on there.
They're all taking pictures of us and saying, there's the big one.
Uh-huh. Oh, look at that big one.
Seabird.
Well, we're heading out of Glacier Bay. We're in the farthest back. Now we'll be... Yes, we're in Glacier Bay yet, but we're heading out. We've been in as far as we can go. There was another glacier that we had to look at, that the last one we were looking at. Couldn't go in because the harbor seals are in there mating, and they don't want anybody in there. It would screw everything up. Right, sure. Beautiful blue, kind of a bluish green or
Aqua, yeah, blue
aqua. There, you know, aqua, yeah. Aquamarine.
Yeah, that's my birthstone.
Little birdie.
He's right down there.
I'm going to check out that cookie that fell in the water.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did he get it?
Oh,
Yep.
he might have. In there.
Part of one's still up that way. Okay. Just the way that glacier carved that out. Left pushed down in there and then backed up and then that's where it's at now. There's a little bitty boat following along with you. So you got the kids along with him. There, kind of give you an idea how small it is.
That's from the boat.
See if we can figure out if there's anybody on board. We're standing outside.
I think I see some of them.
No, it ain't that small of a boat when you get her down and zoomed in.
There's another one. I just went under again.
Yep, that one way back there?
Yeah?
Yep.
Did you get him? You almost want him to turn back.
This little boat just picked up the girls that were talking over the speakers and telling us what was all going on and describing everything out here in Glacier Bay. So that means we now are leaving Glacier Bay. See you later.
right behind that light, will you?
Well, good morning. We're in wonderful Ketchikan. It's 10 o'clock, which would be Pacific time. No, in fact, it's not either. It's not Pacific. We've got an hour change as we start going down toward Valdez. We just docked just a little bit ago. Mom and I have had some breakfast. And the town is on the other side. This is the scenery out across the bay of the port. So what I'm going to do is run across, go to the other side. Today we've seen sun. We haven't seen the sun in several days now, so be kind of nice. Quite a bit, very windy though. There's an airplane taking off. I think there's more airplanes than there are boats sometimes. Definitely more boats than cars. So, and right over there, that ship there is an army ship. It's anchored. I don't know if it's just doing supplies or what it is, but anyway, I'm going to run around the other side, catch up with Mother. See you in a little bit. Well, this boat has been resupplying, and I think they're going to be leaving here in a little while. You can take an excursion on this boat from Ketchikan to Glacier Bay, and if I remember right, according to the TV this morning, that's 435 miles. So a person can drive down here, do a 2-day thing, or 3-day, whatever the case may be, and see the glaciers and all of that stuff. All kinds of boats tucked up in there. The city kind of reminds me of Deadwood, all tucked up into the hillside, steep hills. And then they've got a tunnel that goes through right under those houses. There's a totem pole. They can be up to 40 feet tall, and they sell for about $3,000 per foot. This is Ketchikan Creek. And it's a salmon run. That takes them up toward the fish hatchery here. This is Creek Street. They just built up on stilts and on top of rock. This goes down and around for quite a ways. And it continues around. Let's see. A pauper place in town years ago. Right there. Dolly's house. This is what was the red light district.
Creek Street.
Men used to come up the creek, high up to the piers, sneak up to panels in the floors, do their business, and sneak back out and continue on. Now it's a series of stores and gift shops. There's the ship sitting in port at Ketchikan. There's the rooftops of most of the downtown area. We come up this little tramway up to a lookout area. This is Deer Mountain, and if I remember right, it was like 3,800 feet high, and that's their weather barometer. They say if you can see the top, clear day. If you can't see it, it's raining. And their average rainfall is right around 150 to 135 inches a year, with the record being 198. Somewhere right in that area.
The weather that we're having is very unusual for here.
Everybody has said that about Alaska since this week while we've been here.
So we've been very lucky. It's been very nice.
And think this area is an island. The only way on or off is to float or fly or swim.
And most of these,
they don't dig in because this is basically a rock that they're sitting on. This is a famous street, and this is the way a lot of streets are in this town. They're stairways. The longest street that we have come across was 186 steps. I think they call these conifers. I'm not 100%, but I think that's what they call them. Look at the flowers. And they say that's because of so much more rain up here. Another picture of the ship up a little higher, and the Sun Princess, we caught up with her again. She was in Skagway when we were there. Caught up with her again. Well, there's what was the baseball field for Ketchikan. They would wait till the tide went out. They would go in there and play baseball till they were probably about anywhere up to 3 feet in water, and then whoever was ahead at that time won the game. They have a tide variation of 22 feet, of which goes from high to low every 6 hours. So the games never lasted very long. I don't know what it is, but the church is just covered with pigeons. I think it's because of there's several thousand bald eagles around here. They feel safe on top of the roof there. They don't get picked off. There's a shot of the Sun Princess. She's tied up just ahead of us. There's a trail we started down from the visitor center. Goes zigzags around and everything, and takes us down to Creek Street. That's how a lot of the streets are built around here. They just build them up on wood. We're looking down Creek Street. It used to be a street where, like I said, we're a light district. All the clam shells down there. Imagine the birds have gotten into them.
Yep, they're going after that one that just went in.
something I noticed about Alaska. Their crows are big. That's what the streets are like. They couldn't build much up on the hillside, so they just started pushing the rock down into the bay and started building them up on timbers and pylons, wood surfaces. Don't need no asphalt or cement here. See the craft there?
The totem poles that we will be seeing today are not original totem poles. It's a state park here, it's not a national park, okay? And what they decided to do is the CPA board posts in the clan house and the clan pole that they would carve, okay? But it was never. Then the other 30% of the rainforest is Sitka spruce. And Sitka spruce has a real sharp needle. And right back here we have one that's growing. It's a really sharp one. There's one right behind here. It's got the real is would collect these berries.
It's hemlock.
The legend had it that
This is skunk cabbage. If you need a good laxative, this is what you use. It's what the bears eat when they come out of hibernation to get their system going.
around you. Okay? This is typical of a rainforest. There's not a whole lot of growth underneath. Okay? But this area was formed primarily by glaciation, glaciers. When a glacier will carve through an area, right stump that this tree is growing out of. These are known as nurse stumps. Log that's falling down. It's really, really neat. Now if you look up to this tree right here, now, there's the Amsterdam. That's another ship by Holland America. Now, to give you a little idea what a potlatch is, let's say that the Amsterdam invited us over here. They're a little hard to see from this angle, but we need to keep things flowing here. Right here in the middle, we have three totem there that there's no carvings. Okay, these are finished poles, and whenever you see a lot of space on a pole, that represents how much respect or honor that they have for the person or the figure. On the top of that one pole down there, there's a bear at the top. Only one wife's enough, right? Well, what's that? Anyway, a lot of these totem poles had stories behind it. There's actually a pole in. Let's look at the top there. Raven. Okay, it's got a straight beak. It's not an eagle. It's got a straight beak and it's a black beak. Naming it or giving the characteristics of a raven. Okay. Now below the raven is a box. This is that box I was telling you about, a bentwood box. There's a wonderful story behind this totem pole, but I'm going to tell you all the figures before I tell the story. Right below the box, what kind of figure do you think that is right there? It's a good guess. It's actually not a bear. It's a wolf. Okay, it's got sharp, pointed teeth. You can't really see it too well. But it's got a smaller nose, whereas a bear will have a larger nose. The board might be a little loose. You're welcome to go. Okay, if you look back here at the door, you'll notice that the door is big enough.
Today's terrible.
I shouldn't say that.
For many, many years. Well, the white raven was a wise and magical raven. Well, the raven figured out a way. The chief's daughter every day went down to the stream to get fresh water. So, before she would fill her bucket up, she would take a sip of the stream. Well, he decided to change himself into a hemlock beetle just at the perfect moment. Any guesses as to what the figure is at the top there? It is a human figure. It is not the Statue of Liberty. It's actually a shaman. Does anybody know what a shaman is? That's all. Good question. Okay, somebody just asked how they raise these poles. If you remember, I told you that at a pot. Oh, I didn't mention it. At the potlatch, they would also raise totem poles. So they would invite another clan over, so they could have well over 100 men to raise these poles, because it took a lot to raise these totem poles. They would have scaffolding, just whatever they had. Plus, they would use rope. Okay, and they would have men. There at the top of the scaffolding would be why a lot of clan houses were on the beach. Okay, but anyway, they would pull on this. There'd be over 100 men, and they would slowly get this pole risen. And each time they would kind of stick a support pole to kind of give them a rest for a minute, and then they would people helping you raise your totem pole. Now I mentioned that these three poles here were Haida poles. And one person had mentioned that they liked the top hat on the top of that guy. Later they found out there was oil here, and they were pretty upset about that. But anyways, William Seward, they loved the native, and it has rings at the top of it as well. But it has 4 rings. So they threw 4 potlatches for this man.
The Underground Railroad and bought her a home. She lived there.
Yes, that represents how high they have honor for that person. So at the top there we have
This area was all damaged about 5 years ago in a real big, heavy windstorm.
My brother was back here 30 years. Inside passage. I work in the high-end, but expensive engines.
Yeah, here we are atop the boat. Getting close time to leave. This is Ketchikan. There are a couple of tour boats. I think those will take you up to Glacier Bay. Most of this area is built on piers. If you can kind of see it right down there. But most of this area right through here is on piers because they have no flat ground to build on. And if you remember earlier, that area where all the boats are, that's where the baseball field was at. Plenty of gift shops to go through. Outlet store at the very end up there on the right. This is the only main drag through town.
Actually,
And I understand that they are working on a road up above to try and make kind of a bypass or a second road through. As we come around, this tunnel right here is in the Guinness Book of Records. It's the only tunnel that you can drive through, drive around, walk over, or excuse me, drive over, and also kayak under.
And walk through.
And walk through it. Beside it, you see the stairway. Many of the streets in this town are stairways like this. Like the one tour person told us that they don't move very much because of having to carry your stuff up these stairways. And that area up in there is where they're building that road to hopefully go around town. As far as fill dirt, or topsoil I should say, there is very, very little. And what is around here for lawns is mostly moss.
And what they're doing now to make flat areas is what?
They're hauling a lot of stone down from the hills, like where they're trying to create this road. They're bringing that down and filling in the bay.
They have some flat land.
There's the Sun Princess. She is leaving. It is neat to watch a huge, huge motel about 3 times the size of the Radisson laying down, move sideways in the water. These individuals that run these ships, it's just awesome to watch them. When they put this ship right up against the dock, there isn't even a thud, a jolt, a bump, nothing. I mean, I can't do that with a little bitty 16-foot boat or a 12-foot boat. These guys are just awesome to watch. As you see here, the Sun Princess, she's going out sideways. She's leaving now. It's 6:15. We're supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. But it's just awesome. You look at that ship, and there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's at least 11 stories high, not counting the smokestacks and any of the stuff up above. Just awesome to watch that. Well, there she goes. She's pulled away from the dock. She was docked, tied up right ahead of us. Probably 25, 30 feet between us. And well, we may chase her all the way down to Vancouver. I don't know. We'll find out when we get to Vancouver on Sunday morning if she's there or not.
Vancouver Sunday morning, not till Monday morning.
Excuse me, Monday morning. I'm a whole day behind since we left on Monday versus Sunday. I'm used to Sunday vacations. This area over here, I don't know if, well, let's see. There's a bald eagle flying around in there. There were 2 of them. Anyway, right in that area is, of all things, a salmon cannery. When we were going out on one of our tours, there were a mess of them up in the tree. Unfortunately, wrong side of the bus. As you can see, airplanes and float tubes are just as common as boats are. There's a bald eagle.
They're all over up here.
There's another one. Been watching them dive in and out. Like it says, right down in there is where the cannery is. I don't know if you can see, but in there are all those dead trees, fir trees. They had a devastating forest fire here. We're thinking what we can remember from the gal this morning was 40 or 50 years ago. And with the rain totals that they have in excess of, well, 13 feet per year, the trees have come back well. They have just about taken over the hills again and totally covered up all of the dead trees. This town kind of reminds me, just like some of the other towns you see, they're built on the hillsides, a lot like Lead and Deadwood area is. Well, by golly, we was screwing off on the other side of the ship. We have already set sail. We are pulling away from the dock.
We're gonna follow.
Probably about 50, 60 feet away. Making forward progress. You can see the thrusters where they're shooting the water out the side. There's the Sun Princess up ahead of us. I suppose we're going to have a drag race down to Vancouver, see who gets there first. This is going to be fun. We've got all day tomorrow, being Sunday. We're supposed to dock in Vancouver on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. If I remember correctly, we've got a little sit down tomorrow to tell us how everything will work when we get to Vancouver. Where's our luggage going to be and all of that stuff, so be quite interesting. We had a long day today.
A relaxing day tomorrow.
What we're finding along the way is like this motel up here on the hill, fancy restaurant, is owned by Holland America. We were in Skagway. There's a hotel in Skagway owned also by Holland America. We're finding a lot of this, the tour stuff up in this area is run and owned by Holland America. And we've been finding out that the Princess Cruise Lines, and I don't know if I heard right, but Disney Cruise Lines are also owned by Holland America. So, we're on our forward movement, leaving town. That ship right there is an excursion ship to Bald Eagle just flew over the top and I wasn't watching.
I hope he comes back.
That ship right there takes you on an excursion up to Glacier Bay, which is 400 and some miles north of here. Well, there's part of the old part of Skagway, or excuse me, Ketchikan. Tunnel kind of down in there. This town just kind of lies right down along this edge. They just keep hauling rock down, pushing the rock down into the water to make more flat land. And they do boast that they do have a Walmart here. There are not many of them up in this neck of the woods. So you can get go to Wally World and get stuff. Mother was talking with a young girl that works at a store here in town, and she said we are very fortunate today because it is so beautiful. She says all last week it rained sheets. I I guess people didn't even want to get off the boats. It was raining so hard. We were visiting with another lady. It just poured up there. Poured in sheets. So it's going to be interesting to visit with the other couple that was up here last week. We have had just spectacular weather. It seemed like the only time it rained is when we were leaving a port or at night.
Or coming in the morning.
Or coming in the morning, and during the day it would settle down. It would be gorgeous. So yeah, we've had a few windy days. Tuesday last week was real windy coming up, so the ship rocked and rolled quite a bit. Last night we hit some pretty heavy wind when we were leaving Glacier Bay. Once we turned and went down the inlet passage, we were going with the wind. Didn't hardly notice it much. We were rocked to sleep last night gently, so it was kind of nice. Maybe that's why I'm sleeping so good. It's because of the rocking of the ship. So anyway, off and running, and we'll catch up with you guys a little later on. There's a barge tied off there. One thing that they said, everything is quite expensive up here because it all has to be shipped in. They get a barge up here quite frequent. Well, I imagine weekly, just like up in Skagway.
I think more so because it comes from Seattle.
Yeah, that's true too. They get a ship quite frequent from Seattle, a ferry. There's a Coast Guard ship, Coast Guard over there. But again, too,
cemetery.
This being a, yep, there's a cemetery. Cremation is quite common here because the cemetery is full, and with everything being a couple inches to maybe a foot of topsoil, the rest being rock, quite expensive to dig graves. Look at that, there's a bald eagle.
Get it good?
I got a pretty decent shot of him.
All right.
We'll zoom in just a hair more. There's a nice, pretty old baldy. There's a garage up here. Cars sitting outside, and they literally float them right on in. They've got little ramps. They drop down. I imagine the float's got wheels. Yep, it is. That's their garage. That's all I've seen for stuff coming in. Plane after plane after plane. Look at that. They got these miserable damn things up here too. They don't fall off them very often because water temperature averages 48 to 50 degrees year round. So they don't fall off.
But we watch kids jumping off a...
That was in an enclosed cove, so it'll be a little warmer in there.
Oh, it was still cold, I thought. So we can take it in.
Property like this,
I bet you that's 500,000.
Is in that 250 to 300,000 range. If you get up a little higher, when you get a house with a view, they're in that 150. They're in that $200,000 range. Then you start getting the ones back in and out of the way are considerably less.
He did show us a piece of realty.
Piece of real estate that he figured we could pick up pretty good.
Looked pretty rough.
Yes.
Moss all over
I
the
haven't
roof.
seen anything that bad in North Rapid. Yep, for so many years I turned around and made wooden lawn ornaments. These people just park their boat over there, sink it, and make their water ornaments. That's quite an easy way to do it. Probably a whole lot cheaper too. Pick up a half-sunken boat, and it's taken care of. There's some totem poles. Supposedly another park here in town with totem poles.
Saxman.
Ketchikan, yeah.
Saxman.
These are buoys they put out in the water for marking channels and stuff. I don't think we've got a lake big enough to carry any of these. I don't even know if Pictou is deep enough to handle one of these.
Look at all the birds.
There's a little fishing boat coming on in. I don't know if he caught anything. of the landscape of the island.
You can probably drive around the whole island, can't you?
I imagine so.
But it's only 35 miles, so
Yeah, they've only got about 35 miles of the one highway that through town. I don't know if that's just from one end to the other or just how that all works. Well, here comes a supply ship. Tugboat
oh, look at the cars on
pulling.
top. Car, camper. My God, how do they load that stuff up there?
They just set it. They set it on platforms, tie it on, and then it's all handled with forklifts.
Oh my
Look at all that
gosh.
stuff. That's unreal. Now he may unload only part of that here and take some of this on further
Look at
to
that.
Skagway, because Skagway, people will take off out of Skagway and tour through Alaska. That's unreal. And all that's being pulled by one tugboat. Gotta have a hell of a good propeller under that rascal. God, just look at the number of containers on that. And those containers have got everything from milk to eggs to
Produce
vegetables to fruit, you name it. There's a bald eagle coming by.
Beautiful bird.
Right, and there's been a, I don't know if you can see him, but there's a bit of a whale right up in that area. There's the spray.
Did you see it?
And we got it.
He's right there. That's really close inland, isn't it?
There's a little bit again. Cool.
My eyes aren't too bad.
There's a big spray. Look at that.
There's another one. Why is he so
There's
close?
his head. That boat was hot footing into town pretty fast, and it sure slowed down awful quick when they'd come across that whale. And that boat's going to try and get in there and screw everything up.
Oh, what was this over here? That spray. See that mist?
There was another one right down there again. Okay. We've got several of them out there, huh?
Look at that. Did you get it?
Okay, let's watch right there again. There's a second one out there.
There he is.
There's
Get it?
another one. Oh, look at that. He rolled right out of the water a little.
Did you see that back there?
There's another spray. There's the whale. Cool. Hope you don't mind, I'm swinging kind of back and forth. There we go. Ain't that pretty? Huh? There he is again.
Again. That's so cool.
There we go again.
There he goes again. I didn't see him that active out there yesterday.
Wow, look at that one.
Is he coming out of the water at all?
Ooh.
probably getting the heck out of there with all those boats coming by. He's probably going under. Oh man, that was cool.
I think he went down deep and taking a run for it because all these boats suddenly congregating around on top of him. Beside that, I'm just about out of tape. Good night, people. We shall see you tomorrow.
Or maybe later.
Or maybe later on another video, another tape. We're going to do a...
We have to go get dressed for dinner.
Yeah, we got to get dressed up for dinner tonight. It's not a formal night, but it's casual.
Informal.
I still got to wear my suit coat, I guess, but we'll see. See you later. Bye.